Shalom, brothers and sisters. Today I want to talk about marriage. And before we get deep into it, we first have to understand what marriage is. Now, in the beginning, the Most High gave Adam Eve, you feel me, as a helpmeet or someone to help him fulfill his duty as a man. And it says the two of them become one flesh. That is marriage. Let's see what is a good marriage or how marriage should be. I'm going to start by reading Exodus chapter 22, verses 16 through 18. Exodus chapter 22, verse 16. And if a man entice a maid that is not betrothed and lie with her, he shall surely endow her to be his wife. That means if a young man holler at or try to get with a young maid or woman and he does get with her and they have sex, then he has enticed her and he has lied with her. And the scripture says he is supposed to endow her to be his wife. That means since they had sexual intercourse, then they are supposed to get married. Exodus chapter 22, verse 17. If her father utterly refuse to give her unto him, he shall pay money according to the dowry of virgins. Now the dowry of virgins was a price that a young man had to pay if the father did not allow the man to have his daughter as a wife. Now the dowry of virgins is not told to us in Exodus 22, the 22nd chapter, but it is told to us elsewhere in scripture. Deuteronomy chapter 22 verses 28 through 29 will explain to us what is the dowry of virgins. Let's start with 28. If a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed, and lay hold on her and lie with her, and they be found, if a man have sex with a virgin, then the man that lay with her shall give unto the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver. Then if you lie with a virgin, if you have sex with a virgin, you're supposed to give her father 50 shekels of silver. That's the dowry of virgins. And she shall be his wife. Because he has humbled her, he may not put her away all his days. Because he took her virginity, she shall be his wife all his days. Now that we know what the dowry of virgins is, let's go to the next verse. Exodus 22, verse 18. Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. So when it says thou shalt not suffer a witch to live, it's basically telling us that we shall not let a hoe to live. You feel what I'm saying? Because a hoe is someone who has sex with one man but does not marry that man and then continues to have sex with other men. She would be a hoe after the first time she had sex and not got married. And the scripture says thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. Now, most people might say, no, a witch is not a hoe. But if you read the scriptures, like around in Nahum chapter 3, verse 4, you will see that it's talking about a nation that builds a city up on blood, violence, and robbery. But it also compares a whore to a witch, saying a whore is like unto a witch, and whoredoms are like unto witchcraft. So therefore, a witch and a whore are like one and the same. Now, for some of you who disagree, maybe a lot of women, that when it says thou shalt not suffer a witch to live, it doesn't say kill the hoes. Well, we can go to Deuteronomy chapter 22 verses 13 through 21, and that will explain that if a man married a woman that was not a virgin and he found out that she was not a virgin, he bring her before the elders of the priest of the city, and she was found not to be a virgin, then they would stone her in front of her father's house. So therefore that scripture proves to people who do not believe that hoes are supposed to be murdered or killed off from out of Israel, that proves that they are. And that also helps out the scripture that says thou shalt not suffer a witch to live, because a witch is like unto a hoe. Both of them are supposed to die. Now let's go into which type of or what type of wife a man should choose. Now I'm going into Leviticus. It's supposed to be for the priesthood, but these two scriptures I'm gonna bring should be for every man if he is considering choosing a wife. Leviticus chapter 21 verses 13 through 14, and it reads, and he shall take a wife in her virginity. That means a man needs to take a wife that is a virgin, not a wife that done had sex before, done had kids, or done been married and all type mess like that. Verse 14, a widow, not somebody who's had a husband and her husband died and she is now a widow, or a divorced woman, not somebody who's divorced, don't take a divorced wife, or profane. Profane can mean evil or whore or prostitute, unholy, not none of those. Or a harlot. A harlot is another word for whore. These shall he not take. Don't take any females like that, but a virgin. But he shall take a virgin of his own people to wife. That means you got to get you a virgin that's of your own people. That means you can't go outside your race marrying other people. You can't marry white people if you're an Israelite. You can't marry Asians. You can't marry Arabs. You can't marry Africans. We have to stay within Israel. Preserve our seed. Okay, so this was a short video on marriage. This is part one. I'm in the process of making part two. So bear with me. Shalom, brothers and sisters.